fine. I'll start over again.
Hey, Sam, what's up?
What's up? Got some beers? Got some brews? Thanks, dude, and thank you, Danny.
No problem. Let's throw these up there.
Do it.
Let you finish your interview.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
All right, what were we fucking talking about? The Subterranean was pretty amazing. I mean, a lot of people asked how filming went when I came back to work, or even just at the end, like, what did you think of all this? And I don't know what I used to say, but it was something to the effect of like, the best week of my, or worst week of my life was some of the best moments of my life, is what I think I would say. And I think that the Sub T shoot was very stressful, all in all. But it's one that even in that night, I looked at fondly. You know, I had moments where I was ready to hit somebody. I had moments where I was just exhausted. I didn't want to keep going. But overall, the feeling for me, and I know for many other people, was just, wow, this is pretty incredible.
Now that I think about it, that might be my favorite, is when we got to film at the concert. The bands were actually playing. It was nice. It brought me back. I had a punk rock hardcore phase as well. I guess I could still say I'm in that phase, but definitely not. I'm not going to shows like I was, but that was pretty cool. Ugly Bones were awesome. All those bands, they were all nice guys, and had a good time filming with them.
The biggest problem we probably had, well, okay, now that I'm like starting to really think about this. So Sub T, I don't think was problematic. There were issues within it, but it really, there was a car accident, so one of our actors couldn't make it in time. That sucked.
And then everybody in front of us was like driving to get around it, and then when we got up to it, then it was like, and then we had like, it was like maybe here to that wall is where we were sitting, and it was just like right over there, and we were in this lane. And we had like front row watching it for a couple minutes until we decided started just to go around it. Like it was insane.
And then extras were a big pain in the ass. I think everybody thinks like making movies sounds cool, but there's a very small amount that they're willing to like commit to that. You know, oh, that sounds awesome. Well, sure, I'll come one night, and then they won't even stay the whole night. You know. It's like the shiny new penny. Like, that sounds fun. And then they get there and they realize, oh shit, this is real work. Like, this is tough. Or if nothing else, this is boring, you know? You want to come shoot a concert scene? Yeah. All right, well, it's going to take 9 hours to shoot this thing that looks like it lasts 2 songs or 4 songs, whatever it is. And a lot of people don't have the commitment at that level, you know? We had a girl, she was sweet as pie. I'm not trying to talk shit about her, but at the Sub T, we were just like looking, all right, who can play the bartender? She's just gonna walk around in the background, no big deal. And we picked out this girl, we thought she looked great, and like as soon as I walk away to David, she's like, will this get me a SAG card? And he's like, what? No. And she's like, it's like, what? Just fucking go back there. Like, you should be stoked that we're doing this and we're putting on a free show.
I think the most part of the movie that I really enjoyed was the bar scene, the concert scene in Chicago. It was really crazy because they had little band playing, and there was the fan who really were wanted to see their band, and they were willing to be in the movie. I haven't seen those things. They were really being crazy and were very cooperating with the crews. It was crazy because we had just like 2 cameramen running around being protected by our crew, but the audience are more into their music, so they don't get aware we're cameras. So there were some moments that it was almost bump into the camera and fall, but it's real. Like, you cannot get that from extras and stuff like that if it's not bigger budget and stuff. And that was really raw.
It was really cool that they said that was the biggest show they've ever had. It was like a Monday night. And it was just something that they threw together for us. They were super nice for doing it, and it was super fun. Everyone looked like they were having a blast. I don't know the other favorite moments. I guess I just really liked watching Corey and Evie and Julio really act out what Jason and I had like kind of created. Like, I can't even tell you the number of times I've read that script and then to just watch these people that we picked to play these parts like just do it so perfectly and like how we envisioned it. It was just like crazy to actually watch happen. So that was probably
the primary crew, like I had Elliot, Gene, and Chris in the crowd with me. And it was just certainly the first band that we didn't even know who they were. But as soon as the mosh pit started, it went crazy. And I had a moment of panic, like, oh, fuck, my crew's gonna lose their minds. And I looked over, and they all had these gigantic, shit-eating grins on their faces. Like, they were so happy and, like, just interested in what was happening. And I didn't expect those looks. And I just, like, I will never forget the look on Chris Purdy's face. I will never forget it. And it just made me kind of be like, oh, cool. This is fun. We had a very stressful 3 days leading up to that. And I was just like, this is fun now. This is cool. I think people are having a good time. So let's try to have fun shooting. And there's just so much that came together that, I'd be lying if I said that it was all because of me and Shelby and like the plans that we had made. It really, like, without the bands being as supportive as they were, without Sub T being so cool, without Tim Gick coming along and recording sound, without any of those pieces, I mean, we'd have just been screwed. And and Gene coming along with Chris, like, it was hard enough with Gene, Chris, and Elliot, let alone if it was just Chris. I mean, forget about it. So, yeah, it was, there were moments that were frustrating and difficult, just wrangling. It was like herding cats, dealing with a bunch of drunk people. Well, and even the sober ones, there were a lot of straight edge kids there. But a lot of them were young, and a lot of them didn't give a shit about what we were doing. They just thought, free punk show, let's go. So it was kind of hard at times to get the stuff that I wanted. It was very difficult to communicate, just being up on stage trying to scream at the cinematographer at the back of the room when you can't hear anything. And we brought radios, and they were useless. I think you probably, every once in a while, would hear somebody scream your name in a radio, like, in a 3-second break between songs, and that was about it. So, yeah, it was tough, but it was not, there's, like, nothing I look at that night with anything but just fondness. I wish the whole movie was like that. Really, because, I mean, not only was it just such a fun and crazy night, but ultimately, the amount of stuff that we pulled off, it's ridiculous. Like, when I first started looking at footage, I was terrified that we didn't get anything, but it's just, that's what I always do, is I panic. And then I start piecing it together, bit by bit. And by the time it was done, I was just like, this is ridiculous. I have no idea how they were able to get all that footage in a way that makes sense. And it's funny because if you look outside of the footage that we have cut together, there's some cool clips, but none of it works. None of it works with the rest of it. So it's really weird. It was almost like, this is exactly what we need.
Thank you so much. without you guys, just to let you know. It's fucked up when you think about it, because they won't give any of us a chance. They did today.